Thank you very much. At this juncture, I would want to welcome each and every one of us here to this year's convention here at Tiala. Feel much welcome. At this point, I would want to request the President, AAK, to come and give his opening remarks. Welcome, Mr. President.
Thank you. Honorable delegates, my colleagues, thank you for waiting. I think it's for a good cause. The host governor, Professor Nyang'nyong'o, thank you for honoring and hosting us. And the executive director of UN Habitat, Madam Rosbach, we thank you for making time. I think this was something we are looking forward to, particularly your keynote presentation. In the room, we are honored to have quite a number of guests. I may not mention all of you by name, but as we network later in the evening over a cocktail, we will be able to know who is here. But most importantly, I need to mention that we have the East Africa Institute of Architects President, Architect Chawi, who is also the Architectural Association of Tanzania President, who has visited us from Dar es Salaam. We have a representative from the Royal Institute of British Architects, who's lead in Africa, Architect Dinka. We have government represented here by the chair of the National Housing Corporation, QS Chanzu, who is also a fellow member of AAK. We have the executive director of National Construction Authority, Engineer Ketch. And we have other fellows who are here, Professor Omenya, fellow of AAK, Engineer Grace Kagondu, fellow of AAK. We thank you for making time. We have various presidents, past president of AAK. I don't know how many are there, but I believe maybe 4 or 5 of them should be in the room representing. Do you want to stand up so that I can acknowledge you, not necessarily by name, but by acknowledging that we have the numbers? I believe we have Mogure. We have Architect Mogure, we have Architect Mugambi, we have Architect Nyole. Is that Miloyo, Emma? Sorry? Engineer, Architect Waweru as well. Thank you so much former presidents for coming. The lighting is not the best from where I am. There's light in my face and shadows where you are. But let me say this, and I mentioned this earlier in the waiting room to the governor. We didn't just come to Kisumu by chance. We think that Kisumu is a good exemplar. And if we don't see good examples, we will not believe. And the adage goes that seeing is believing. I think a lot of things that have happened in Kisumu since I first came here into this city as a visitor in 2006, as a student studying urban issues and trying to look at how cities can be rejuvenated. I just thought it was an idea that for purposes of education. But when I see today a government that is actually completely forward thinking and looking at how we can change and shape our urban futures, I believe there is hope. I'm generally not a very optimistic person, but slowly I'm beginning to change my mind that it is possible, even amidst all the noise that has been made politically. And we must congratulate the fact that for a very long time, issues of politics were never tied to urbanization. Housing issues were something that was only discussed in boardrooms and development control offices. Today, issues of housing and urban development is at the center of our political discourse. And we as built environment professionals need to critically look at how the trajectory is. And the fact that our cities are currently growing without plans, without architects, should not be an opportunity, and at the same time, it should be a red flag that whether we are in the space or not, the cities are going to grow because the population is not going to wait for us to be ready. So I think we need to come to the grassroots, and we as AAK, which is for record of the media that 8 professions in the architectural association of Kenya, including architects, engineers, quantity surveyors, construction project managers, town planners, environmental design consultants, interior designers, and quantity surveyors I've mentioned. Really, we don't have to talk about issues of inclusion or inclusivity if we don't talk about having everyone on the table. And in this case, we have caucused as a professional body that thinks about that aspect of collaboration, but now looking at how we can collaborate, for example, with the international bodies. We are currently engaged with Global Building Performance Network in developing the decarbonization roadmap for Kenya. And in that very important coalition, we have government, we have international bodies like UNOPS, and at the same time, we have local other professional bodies like developers, Kenya property developers, and women in real estate. And really, our target here is to say, if we don't track the activities that we are doing, if we don't look at the issues that are actually going on, like coming to Kisumu and realizing for ourselves, then we will be missing the boat. The other thing that is very important for me to mention is that AAK has rolled out a plan to devolve itself, and we are opening up branches. We have a branch that we have just initiated in Kisumu. Council members from Kisumu, the interim office, are you here? I believe I have been around with architect Gome, and we also have architect Oscar Ogunde. These are some of the members who are helping us setting up this, and very soon you will be able to see our presence in Kisumu, which will cover Western Kenya. We have a branch that is covering South Rift in Nakuru, and we have a branch that has been around covering the coastal region that is headquartered in Mombasa. And how we plan to do this is setting up a space we call the Build Hub. The Build Hub is an incubation center that will be able to incubate and promote professionalism, be able to interrupt the irregular buildings that are going on. According to the NBI, that's the National Building Inspectorate, up to 80% of our built environment is irregular and do not involve professionals. It is not possible for us to urbanize appropriately or even get close to our decarbonization goals if we do not use professionals from the word go. And I encourage my members who are in Nairobi to take advantage of this devolution exercise, to start setting up shops, or literally just walking around this county and seeing how we can engage the government. And we believe that with all the issues of lack of capacity, it is possible for us to work with the NCA, with the NBI, these are the national bodies, as well as with the devolved function of development control at the counties, to be able to achieve the goal of urbanization. Otherwise, shaping the urban future would be a very uphill task.